Welcome to the Winning Edge Investments Podcast. Winning Edge Investments provides industry-leading horse racing and sports betting tips, ratings and education, enabling you to invest intelligently and treat your betting like a business. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com to learn more about how you can start to supercharge your betting bank immediately. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.
Great to be with you on this Friday morning. This is Giddy Up, and thanks to Winning Edge Investments, tips and ratings for racing and sports. And always great to catch up with Dean Evans ahead of another Group 1 weekend as the spring rolls on. Hello to you, Dean.
Yeah, good morning, Gareth. How you going?
Good, thank you, mate. We'll go to Caulfield first of all. The feature race there is the Group 1 Underwood Stakes. It's probably not a vintage Underwood Stakes this year, but you've got Pericles that's the favourite, and you've got a couple of interesting runners first up as well. So just having a look at the market with Bet365, Pericles at 320, Place to Carousel at 460, Buckaroo gets Joe Mirror aboard at 550, Faulkner Park at 750, Coco Sun at 13, Duke de Sessa at 17, and then big prices for Munamek at 19, Deny Knowledge at 23, and Boyster Argent is at $26, and the Old Boy Vow and Declare at $31. How do you read this year's Underwood Stakes, Dino?
Yeah, look, it's like you say, it's not a vintage Underwood by any stretch of the imagination. We've had horses like Alligator Blood and Zaki and Russian Camelot, Dundee, Ocean Park win this race. But it seems like all the sort of A1, A graders ran in the Mackay last week, and you got Fangirl running in Sydney. So definitely a weaker edition than usual here. One of the most interesting factors of this race in the last 13 years, every single winner has been no worse than fifth on the turn. And we've got sort of horses in the market here like Faulkner Park and Buckaroo who are probably going to get further back than that. The other interesting stat is every winner in the last 13 years sort of come out of a Group 1 or Group 2 in the last couple of starts. And a horse like Pericles is the favourite is coming out of an open handicap. So it's certainly not a vintage year. I did have Pericles rated on top. I think there'll be an average speed here, Deny Knowledge to get a comfortable lead, and Pericles and Bois d'Argent will sort of sit behind. But I'm not sort of that enamoured with the price of Pericles. The horse that I actually had rated second was Bois d'Argent. Very, very good form. He's run a fourth in a Caulfield Cup, won the Doomben Cup 2 starts back. Has that residual fitness from Queensland. Annabelle Neesham can get them to win first up even over a staying trip. And I thought his trial at Randwick, where he ran fifth, was better than it looks. It was only sort of a length of a horse like Coal Crusher, who's a very speedy type, and a couple of lengths off Tropical Slaw, who's fifth of a Group 1 run. So I think he's going better than it looks. I think he's going to map really perfectly. I think he's up and going. They are trying to get him to a Cox Plate. I thought at $26, he was just the really big value in the race. Yeah,
so that's a good push for the Annabelle Neesham trained galloper there in the Underwood Stakes. Then we go to the Caulfield Guineas Prelude. Angel Capital at $4.60, Wanneroo at $4.60, the Sydney Sider. Private Life at $6, Basusto at $7. Epimels has had a little bit of backing since yesterday at $9, Sergeant Major at $9, and then big prices for the rest, which includes horses like Public Attention out to $19 and Depth of Character at $19.
Yeah, look, it's a good addition to the Guineas Prelude, and there's 3 horses running here, Gareth, that I mentioned to you as sort of potential futures bets for the Caulfield Guineas, and they're Angel Capital, who after that, came out and won really impressively first up at Moonee Valley. Always looked like the type was going to really furnish into a nice 3-year-old after an impressive debut win as a 2-year-old, and then sort of striking some wet tracks in Brisbane. But I think he's a very good colt and looks the one to beat. Epimeles was another one from the Busselton Yard who sprinted really well. Sandown to win on debut, ran the 5th quickest last 2 of the day, and won the Listed Anzac Day Stakes, ran plus 4.7. He just had no luck at Moonee Valley at all. He can put a complete line through that run. I don't think he's right up and in this race. The other colt I think's got a lot of ability is Public Attention, who he beat Bandit Brothers by a length and a half on debut, and then it won a Group 3 at its next start. It trialled really well, and again was another one that just Moonee Valley didn't suit it. sort of got held up and didn't have much luck. But again, comes into here and is really big odds. And so, I think they're three really high quality colts: Andrew Capital Weapon, Lees, and Public Attention. And at the prices, you can back all three.
Yeah, so big prices there for especially Public Attention, $19 with Bet365, Epimels at $9, and Angel Capital's the favourite. So that's going to be a good race, that Caulfield Guineas prelude. So is the T-Rose in Sydney. Autumn Glow at $2. She's got the different form lines compared to Manal at $3.80 and Amina at $8.50, and then Erno's Cubes at $10. But do you expect this Autumn Glow just to turn up and win this, Dean?
I do. I'm a big fan of hers. I've sort of been talking about her and as a Group 1 filly since before her first start. She trialled in a way and in times that most horses just don't. And she's been really impressive in both of her wins so far. She's looked a Group 1 filly in the making for me for sure. And I really do think she's going to be very hard to beat. I think the Dane is probably Manal. She's really looking for 1,400 now. And she's obviously a really top quality filly as well, who was pretty good winning last start. But I just think she's looking for that 1,400 metres now. She's been looking good all prep, and she's definitely the danger. And Erno's Cube, I thought, was a really big run first up, and is one for the multiples as well. But I am just expecting Autumn Glow to put them to the sword here and remain the hot favourite for the Flight Stakes.
And then at Round of course, the feature races, the 7 stakes. Fangirls at $2.10, Sue Gotcha at $4.40, Royal Patronage at $6, and Hinged at $11, Sardozi at $12. I reckon James, when I had a chat to him yesterday, was leaning towards the 7 stakes because he believes that weight for age contest will be maybe a better lead-up race, dropping back to a handicap like a Caulfield Cup, which I found interesting. Obviously, Sardozi's also in the Kingston town there on Saturday.
Yeah, I sort of the Zardozi, I really think that she doesn't like Randwick. She's had 6 starts there. She's run some absolute awful runs. She's been beaten sort of 14 lengths and 6 lengths, and she's had 1 second there when she got out to a staying trip. But I just think she doesn't like Randwick, and I'm actually quite keen to look at backing Zardozi wherever she goes next. If she can get a run at Flemington or something like that, even Rose Hill, but she just doesn't look like a Randwick horse to me. Now, this is an interesting race. Royal Patronage is a horse that I sort of noticed from the trials. She just looked like a he looked like a really good horse out of the trials, and it certainly surprised me the way he sprinted so well to win the Tramway first up. And he's a horse that could potentially get out to 2,000 or even 2,400. So he's a really interesting runner, and he does look like he's going to get sort of on a reasonably soft speed outside of Major Beale. So he's the one who's going to they'll have to catch. But Zugotcha also matched really well in third. This is a race I sort of struggled with in terms of having a confident push. To be honest, I think Fangirl's going to get right out the back, and she's obviously the class runner, but she's going to have to run down sort of Royal Patronage and Zugotcha, who are going well and who map a lot better. So I'm sort of staying out of this, to be honest, Gareth, but I think it's going to be a really interesting point into the spring, with Royal Patronage, Fangirl, Zugotcha and Zardozi, all very, very high-quality animals.
And one of the great days outside of a city area today's at Newcastle, where you've got the Newcastle Cup, the Tibby, and also the Cameron. And you've got some tips. We'll start with the Tibby. We've got Terramata at $3.80, and Roots at $5, Overriding at $6.50, and Osbred Flirt at $6, City of Lights at $10, and Hell Hath No Fury at $12, and a good little race.
Yeah, look, I thought the best mare in this race was Osbred Flirt.
Okay.
She's very, very good in Group 2 and Group 1 company in Brisbane. I think she's got good residual fitness there, and I've been really taken with her trials as well. This prep, particularly the first trial behind Traffic Warden, who we backed successfully to win the Run to the Rose last week. She was really, really good behind him and flew home with some whipping sectionals. So, my only concern is there doesn't seem to be a lot of speed in this race, and she gets back. But as long as she can sort of tack in and get close enough, I think she'll be sweeping over the top of them.
And what about the Cameron Stakes, mate? This is the biggest race on the day, and we've got the Victorian here to shock that's been scratched from Caulfield. We'll go to Newcastle today. He's the strong 380 favourite now with Bet365.
Yeah, the horse that I thought was taken with first up was Berkshire Shadow. It was just slow away, held up most of the straight. First up at Rose, a little bit ran the second quickest last 400 of the day, despite being 6, beating 4 lengths. It was just, it was the type of run where it probably could have run, a really nice placing. It got clear running. You get James McDonald aboard here, again drawing a wide gate. So, as long as they're showing the ability to swoop there at Newcastle, then I think he's won. And as long as there isn't a very strong on pace or rails bias at Newcastle, then I think I was Bet Flirt and Berkshire Shadow are 2 really good bets for today.
All right, mate. For all the SEN listeners out there, we go to Winning Edge Investments. All we do is type in SEN and you get a 50% lifetime discount with Winning Edge Investments.
Yeah, that's right. Lifetime discount in your first membership. We've got plenty of listeners on board, and our services across the board, across racing and sports, have had really great years and are gearing up, to continue that really, really good form for the spring.
Yeah, and we've got the footy finals in full swing with semi-final action there in the Rugby League and preliminary final action in the AFL. So, plenty to bet on, mate. Plenty to have fun. Thanks for that, Dino.
Thanks, Gareth. Good stuff. See you next week.
Yep, there's Dean Evans. WinningEdgeInvestments.com. Tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sports. We'll take a break. Metro Bag of tips coming up next.
At Winning Edge Investments, our team of highly skilled expert analysts and full-time professional punters review the data, crunch the figures, assess the best betting opportunities, and deliver them to your phone via our app and your email inbox in real time so you profit. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com. Look at our membership options, make your choice, and enter the promo code PODCAST to receive a special 25% discount on your first membership just for listening. That's PODCAST in capital letters for a 25% ongoing discount on your first membership. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.